My name is Emre Yusur. We are at Pico offices. We have a couple locations in Los Angeles. Right now we are in Westwood area. This is our just office. Our showroom is close to the airport, LAX, just off Century. And we have a couple other warehouses where we keep the vehicles, we do the reconditioning of the vehicles, so forth. So we are LA based for now.
I'm going to slow you down 1 second. You have a showroom and you keep vehicles.
Correct.
What are we talking about? What does your showroom consist of? And what are these vehicles that we're talking about?
Right, I should have started with that. So we are providing electric mopeds. I call it moped because, well, you can call them scooter, moped, depends on who you talk to. These are sit-down kind, like the Vespa style scooters, all electric, and with portable batteries. And so you don't need charging infrastructure. You can literally get the battery off the vehicle and plug it into a regular wall outlet, or just charge it on the vehicle itself. So these are single rider seated scooters that go up to 30 mile per hour speed, electronically limited, so that we provide them under subscription programs. So when I say subscription can be short-term rental to a long-term rental. So you pay weekly or monthly, and you keep the vehicle, but you are not locked into a long-term contract. You can get one of these vehicles for as long as you need, and when the need is not there anymore, you can simply arrange either a pickup by one of our trucks or get it back to our showroom. So you are not locked in for a long-term, like a lease or financing contract for it. You can do it week to week, you can do month to month, however you prefer.
And what is that? First of all, that's a very awesome concept. What does that consist of? Credit checks, no credit checks, down payments, no down payments, interest rates? What happens after several years of leasing the same motorcycle? Do you need a motorcycle license? Do you need a driver's license?
So these are, so it depends on where you are located. In California, you are not required to have motorcycle endorsement under short-term rental contracts. So we have two different kinds. We call Pico 20 and Pico 30. Pico 20 is technically a class 2 electric bicycle, so you don't even need a driver's license for it. The downside is the top speed is limited to 20 miles per hour. And for that, again, you need no license at all. Then there's the Pico 30 model, which can go up to 30 mile per hour speed, and that's electric moped as the DMV classification. And if you own one, then you need M1 or M2 endorsement on your driver license. But if you rent it from a company like us, then you are required to have a driver's license, but just a regular driver's license. And we take safety very seriously, so we have safety videos that we require new subscribers to watch. We do a vehicle orientation, and we typically spend 40 minutes to an hour at the time that you receive the vehicle, providing you an orientation and a short training. And we want to see that you can really ride the vehicle. I mean, it is super easy to ride. These are all, there's no gears, it's all automatic.
There's no clutch.
There's no clutch. So it's super easy to ride. If you ride a regular bicycle, you should be able to ride this. But still, we want to make sure that you are comfortable on the vehicle. You can ride it through that orientation before we start your subscription.
And then does the subscription include insurance, or that's separate, or how does that work?
So the subscription, it doesn't matter weekly or monthly, however you do it. It's the weekly price or the monthly price that you pay includes service, maintenance, everything. If you like to have additional insurance, we have an insurance partner that provides the insurance for it. So insurance doesn't come automatically with it, but as the subscriber, you can decide to take insurance or not. Legally, you are not required to have insurance to ride these in California. You can ride without insurance, but we encourage everyone to get insurance. We don't require it to become a subscriber. It's not like financing a vehicle that most finance companies say you need to have full insurance on the vehicle. We don't require it, but we encourage you. And we, as I said, we have a partner who provides really inexpensive monthly
to have extra protection.
Extra protection.
Like theft or accident or personal injury,
exactly.
But they would have to speak to an agent about those terms.
Correct.
Nice.
Correct.
Where did this, and then everything you deal with is EV. You don't deal with gas powered, and you're dealing with EV. Why EV, and what's kind of the goal that you're trying to?
So, everybody wants to ride electric vehicles, right? And but it is hard to attain an electric vehicle. What I mean is, if you compare like an electric car to a standard gas car, typically the prices are higher. It's harder to get it.
An electric bicycle is $6,000, $7,000, $5,000, $4,000.
So our ultimate goal was, how can we make EVs more accessible and more affordable? So we don't want to be known as a scooter company. This is the vehicle type that we started, and we think that scooter is the perfect vehicle for a lot of the transportation needs. But we want to get into other electric vehicle classes as well over time. This is our starting point. And when you consider, majority of the mobility needs, when you look at, especially in LA, over 80% of the vehicles are single occupancy vehicles, you know, and majority of the commute is less than 3 miles. So when you look at how we use the vehicles versus which vehicles we use, it is not really overlapping perfectly. So it doesn't make sense to, if you're gonna grab coffee 2 blocks from where you live, getting a 3-ton SUV to ride there is not the most sustainable and economical way to do that. So, it is not yet within our American culture here to use 2-wheeled vehicles like how they do in Europe and Asia. I'm sure if you've been to Asia or Europe, in a lot of the cities, especially the urban areas.
India,
same thing.
Everybody's in scooters.
Everybody's on scooters, electric
bikes. Families. 5, 6 people on a scooter.
I know.
That's normal.
I know.
South America.
Exactly. So, especially on urban areas, we think that we want to be part of building that culture here too for the transportation needs. So we think that for a lot of the use cases, scooter is the right fit. We just don't have that habit here. Right. When you think about, okay, I have a mobility need, what kind of vehicle I need, most people don't even think that scooter is an option.
And I never thought it was an option.
Right.
And personally, I think it's safer than the regular scooters, those little the ones you stand on. Those things go, 17, 18, 20 miles an hour. You hit the smallest bump, you're going to go flying. I've personally met more people get injured from those little scooters, and I like them. I think they're fun. Right. But there's people that I watch. I'm like, you shouldn't be riding that. It's too powerful for you. Right. And I've seen more people get injured on those than anything else compared to a scooter. A scooter has better braking power, or you're riding on the road. It has rubber. Right.
So with the shared platforms, there are few concerns from our perspective. One concern is, so somebody is riding the vehicle, leaving it on the sidewalk, and the next person comes, picks it up to ride it. So there's no inspection between the rides. When you are riding the vehicle, if something happened to it, you're just gonna drop it there and continue walking, right? Yeah. So a next guy has no idea that something is wrong with the vehicle. So there's that safety concern about, is the vehicle really safe to ride? Number two, there's no helmet, right? Most of these vehicles don't have any storage, and it's again a shared platform, so anybody can ride it. So we think that any motorized vehicle, you should have a helmet when you are riding them. Three, how much experience you have riding these vehicles? Yes, they are slow speed vehicles, but they come with very small wheels. So if you get in a pothole, how they react, you may not know. So you have, in most cases, you have zero training, zero orientation before you get on any of these vehicles. So shared platforms, we feel like they are solving a lot of the mobility needs,
Right.
but there's a lot of concern about from safety perspective. So what we like about our structure, the subscription concept is, yes, you are not locked into a long-term contract, you can return it anytime, but as long as you have the vehicle, you have the vehicle. It is dedicated to you and you keep it as yours. So you know the exact condition of the vehicle. If something happens to it, you know about it, and you can simply reach out to our support department and we will send a technician to inspect the vehicle and see if we can fix whatever the problem is on the spot. If not, we will swap it with a different vehicle.
That's amazing.
And the other thing is, if you are in an area, let's say dense area, let's say Santa Monica, right? In Santa Monica, there's a lot of these shared platform kick scooters. Okay, you may have access to a vehicle easily, but a lot of times the place that you want to go from where you are, point A to B, that distance is shorter than the closest shared platform kick scooter to you. So I'm not going to walk 6 blocks to pick up one of these scooters because I want to go 4 blocks distance.
Right.
So again, with our vehicles, you have the vehicles with you. It is dedicated to you. You are the only rider, and it is your own for as long as you want them.
No, I like the idea. I was in Europe recently, and I rented the smaller scooters and the bicycles. And for that city that I was in, I really got a kick out of it because I was like, man, I'm trying. I was only there for 22 hours. So I slept 5 hours, and the rest of the time I was bicycling and scootering and just picture. But in a city like LA, where the roads are not the greatest, the sidewalks are wild, especially in certain parts if you go in the valley or, whatever. And LA is so spread out that, yeah, you can do the little scooters, like if you're in West Hollywood and you're staying in West Hollywood, but if you're going to go over the hill, or if you're going to go downtown, or if you're going to go somewhere else, you need something that has more power, more convenient, safer.
Right, exactly. Well, I didn't answer your earlier question now that I'm thinking about how to sign up, the credit and all that. So we try to make it super easy. So it's all online. You go to ridepico.com, you pick the model, and our team can help you choose the right model for your need. And then you can simply enter your personal information. I mean, literally within 3 minutes, you can be done with signing up for one. And you can either choose to come to pick it up from our showroom, or if you live within the Los Angeles metro area, one of our trucks can deliver it to you for a fee. And we don't have it based on credit. So you don't need to have established credit to get a vehicle from us. Because a lot of the riders are younger, who didn't have the chance to build credit yet. And so we want to democratize access to EV. We want to make it accessible by everyone, regardless of their credit profile, or age, or any other concern. So again, you can sign up within 3 minutes online, and in most cases we can make it available within 1 day.
Who's your ideal clientele or rider?
Right. So when we were first starting, this is just in the middle of pandemic, and we thought that people who has short commute, that they don't have to take the freeway, because one thing you can't do is you cannot be on the freeway with these vehicles or on the bridges. So as long as your commute doesn't require you to be on the freeway, like for example myself, I ride one every day. My commute is 4 miles from my house to my office, so I ride it every day. You know, I time myself just for the fun of it. It is much faster for me to come to my office using one of Pico's compared to driving a car. It is a lot more fun.
Of course.
So the funny thing
and
is,
it's legal to split lanes.
you know, you're a motorcycle person, so you know how fun it is.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of people who's never, you know, ridden a motorcycle, they have no idea how much fun it is. That's why we encourage everyone to come for a test drive. We say, you are not sure about it? No problem, come test drive. You don't need to subscribe. Just get on one, try it. Because once people try, two things happen. One, they think, okay, I never rode one before, so I don't know, I don't feel comfortable.
They're intimidated.
Right? Yeah, exactly, they're intimidated. We are like, okay, you just gotta try, because I can explain it to you for 10 hours until you get on one for yourself. You have no idea how much fun it is, how easy it is, and how comfortable you get on it within like 10 minutes.
And how convenient.
And how convenient, right, exactly, especially if
in LA.
In LA.
Anywhere, I don't care where you're going.
Right.
I don't care. If you're in the valley, here, downtown.
Exactly.
In downtown, it's a...
So the right audience for us is, again, short distance commute. But we started in the middle of pandemic, and then we started to get a lot of increase from delivery drivers. And so one thing we didn't know was that over 60% of the people who would like to make money delivering for the delivery platforms do not have access to a vehicle. So they would like to make money delivering, but they don't have access to a vehicle. And the reason is over 90% of these people do it part-time, and over 80% of them do it for less than 20 hours a week. So they like to make some side money delivering, but the money that they make per week doesn't justify for them to go finance a vehicle, pay insurance, gas, maintenance, contract, all of that. One, they don't know if they're gonna qualify for credit. Then when you add all the related things like the gas, maintenance, insurance, they say, okay, I'm not gonna make enough to cover the cost of this vehicle alone. So then they decide not to do it. So we say, okay, we give you a great alternative, and we have delivery models that come with a delivery box in the back. It's a food grade insulated box. And we have an option for a second battery, because single battery has about 30 to 40 mile range, but with two batteries you can have 80 mile range. So we started to get a lot of increase from delivery drivers. And right now, I would say, when you look at our subscriber pool, it is 50-50. Half of them are delivery drivers.
Nice.
Use it for delivery. And we say you can deliver with it, and when you are not working, it's still a mobility solution for you.
Of course. Yeah, because even just basic math, forget the delivery aspect of it, because that in itself is rewarding.
Right.
But if you think about it, if you go, well, I pay, what's the average car payment? $450 or something, right? So you pay $450 a month, then you pay gas. How much are people spending on gas on their car? So now we're talking about commute.
Right.
That's what, $100 a week?
Right.
A week, some people pay more.
And in the metro cities like LA, there's a cost of parking also. Like in our
ticket.
Right.
A ticket. You have cost of parking. Then if you get a ticket, and then you got to do oil change, and then you got to do brakes, and then tires. No. If you do like just a comparison of how much it costs to drive your car that you already have, versus, and then it depreciates.
Right.
So now you're putting mileage. You're putting 12, 13, 14, 15,000 miles. Now your car depreciates.
Exactly.
Where if you bring up, hey guys, you want to save your car, you want to save your brakes, you want to look, get our scooter, and this is how much you're saving.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because we have people who subscribe to a delivery model, even though they have a car, they have their own car, but they don't want to put the miles on the car for all the reasons you are saying, and they keep the car in the garage and use the scooter for deliveries.
Of course.
They say it's faster, it's quicker, and when you are picking up the package, delivering it, you don't need to worry about parking spot. You just literally pull it in front of the restaurant, pick it up. So it's a lot more convenient and it's a lot cheaper for them to subscribe to one.
I can't think of any reason a car is more convenient in LA, driving in LA, that a car is more convenient than a bike.
Correct.
I can't think of one scenario. Maybe you got to jump on some calls. Like right now, I was going to ride over here, and then I was like, I got to make some calls.
Right.
So maybe that reason, but...
The other thing is each scooter comes with a phone holder and a USB charger. So especially delivery riders, if they're going to follow their delivery app and the directions, the phone is placed right in your eyesight with a USB charging. So you have that option too.
Are you guys doing any collaboration with any of the delivery services, like Uber Eats or any of those companies?
We started talking. Nothing is finalized yet, but we are talking to a couple of the groups right now.
Yeah, something of like, hey, do a deal with us and just get the drivers and.
Absolutely, we like to do it, and we are talking to a couple of groups. We are also talking to some franchise chain brands about helping them with, providing a branded scooter fleet for their internal delivery needs.
I understood that, but I like that. Repeat that again.
So nothing is finalized, so I don't want to give a name, but let's say it's a large franchisee network of restaurant chain, fast food chain. So now a lot of these chains have their own apps that they drive their own traffic to their app for the people to order directly from them instead of through the platforms. And so there's a need for delivering those direct orders coming directly to them. So we are talking to them to provide fleet of scooters with all their branding on it to deliver that order. There are a lot of solutions out there, and every day there's more added, helping the merchants about how to reach out to potential customers, how to present the menus, and how to bring in the orders. But nobody is really talking about, okay, who is going to take that order from the merchant to the customer?
Of course.
In most cases right now, the platforms are helping with it. But there's a need for alternative options, not to replace the platforms, but to complement what the platforms are providing to the table. So we want to help those networks as well with the transportation need.
Yeah, you got my wheels turning in my head. Like, oh wait, they need a whole platform and base, because you're mentioning franchise, but like how many private owners can just reserve a bunch of bikes, get drivers, and do it for all the other companies? And you could have multiple of those branches over and over and over. Very exciting thing you got where you're working on. Now the background about you and your partner are car guys.
Yes, we are.
What's the history?
The history is we are, both myself and my partner, Maurice Salter, we are both car guys. You are either a car guy or you are not. You don't become one. So since I was a kid, I was always into cars. I raced a little bit, nothing professional on the club level. But I like all kinds of cars. I like motorcycles. When I was in college, I had 3-4 different bikes. So our background is in the car space, but then we got into financing motorcycles. We've been doing it for over 12, 13 years, both providing leases and loans for regular motorcycles, road legal motorcycles, and
So as a bank, as a finance company.
as a finance company. So our background is in the finance. So we understood that market really well, but we saw the shortcomings of the financing solutions like the leasing or the loans, and we said, okay, we may get 100 people, let's say, today interested in getting financing from us, but let's say 30 of them ends up financing, and let's say 70 of them ends up not financing. So we looked into the people who were originally interested but decided not to finance. What are the reasons why they chose not to finance? So number one reason is the large upfront payment, upfront investment, down payment, DMV fees, registration, title, insurance,
Tax,
when you added up tax. When you add it all up on a $10,000 bike, maybe they need to write a check for $2,000 today.
Easy.
So that's one reason. The second reason is monthly payment being out of their budget. They think that they can get one for 150, but it ends up being 300.
The one they want.
The one that they want, exactly. And the third reason is they don't want to be locked in for a long-term contract, because to lower the monthly payment, you need to make the terms longer. And most motorcycle riders love switching bikes. A typical rider would change bike twice in 3 years. So when you are locked into a 7-8 year or 5 to 8 year contract, it makes it difficult to make those changes. So those are the top three reasons. So when we were building the Pico program, we said, how can we build a program that answers all these questions? The audience over here is different than the motorcycle audience, right? Motorcycle people are passionate about the vehicle and they want to ride that vehicle. For the most part, Pico people are general audience, not necessarily motorcycle people, but just they want to enjoy the convenience of affordability and accessibility. So that's why we came up with this model that you don't need to have credit. You don't need to be locked into a long-term contract. You don't need large upfront payment. We charge $95 as account setup fee. That's it. There's no DMV fees, registration, title, none of that. All you pay is a setup fee one time, and that's it.
No registration, no.
None of that.
Interesting.
Everything is included in your subscription, and your subscription ends up being in average around $5 a day. So the total cost of the vehicle to you is about $5. If you get the second battery, the larger model, maybe $6 a day. When you think about it, that's what you spent getting coffee every morning.
Of course.
Right?
No, coffee's more.
Coffee's now more, right? And especially for delivery drivers, they look at it as, okay, if it's gonna cost me $6 a day to get this vehicle, my one delivery today is gonna cover all my costs, maybe more, and then all the other deliveries I do is just pure profit for me. So that's why we call it
beautiful.
Really affordable and really accessible.
I'll give you another point to what people are intimidated at. Go into a dealership.
Right.
Go into a dealership. That whole going to dealership and salespeople, and oh man, and I'm just looking. Hey, let's run your credit, man. Let's see what we can do. Like, I don't want to run my credit. My credit sucks. Or I don't have the money. And then it's being, you feel almost manipulated, to buy something, or obligated, or then you get something that you're not kind of ready for. And
yeah, we don't have any salespeople in the company. We don't have a sales department. We don't have anybody who has a title that includes sales in it. We have rider support department. If you have any questions about signing up or how the subscription works, they answer all those questions. We are there for you, but we don't have anyone trying to close on you. We don't have anybody trying to sell you anything or upsell anything. We have zero sales department.
It sells itself. That's the thing. I like that. I like that EV companies are doing that. Because even Tesla.
Right.
You just download the app and pick a car and just fill out the application. All right, your car will be ready in 2 weeks. You know, just pick it up here. Like it's just a drop. It's
Right.
or we'll drop it off for you. You know.
So we have couple trucks. So all day long they deliver.
Are they your own trucks, or you work
our
with
own trucks? All our internal team. They are experienced Pico people who can provide you the orientation on the vehicle and show you the controls. But we also have the showroom, not because you have to come to the showroom, but if you are not sure if this is a new vehicle type for you, and if you want to just test ride it, get a feel for it, that's why we have a showroom for people to come and test. If you know that you want to subscribe, you don't need to put foot in any of our locations once. You can all do it on your phone, be done with it.
It's a website or an app?
It is a web-based, browser-based. So any smartphone, you don't need to download any apps. So you can subscribe, again, just on our website directly. And once you sign up, you have a subscriber account that you can manage, but it's all browser-based. You don't need to download an app for it.
And how many models of bikes do you guys have?
So when we first started, we started with many different models because we were not sure about how people will respond to different models and which one they're gonna like. And now we took it down to two main models. One for e-bike class, so you don't need driver license, and one that requires driver license but go faster. Because we realized that because the technical specs are so similar because of the regulatory requirements, your riding experience doesn't change that much from model to model. The speed is the same, the range is the same, the motor power is pretty much the same. Just the look of the vehicle is different, but your riding experience is the same. So having different models didn't make a big difference for the user experience, but operationally it added a lot because to service those vehicles, to recondition them,
order parts for
parts,
different.
and we have certified technicians in-house. We have our own service department that services all the vehicles. So operationally, it made it much easier. And when operationally it's easier, then we provide better service. One thing is we realized that we had room for improvement on the service side, how fast we respond, how fast we can deliver. So one important factor was to reduce the number of models so that we can provide better service to the subscribers.
That's awesome. So easy and so convenient.
Okay.
And then let me go back to a question that I was asking about your racing. What did you race for the clubs?
Gosh, that was a long time ago, especially in San Francisco area. I raced in the NASA group, road racing, BMWs, Porsches. This is pre-marriage, pre-kids, pre-Pico,
Pre-everything, yeah.
pre-everything,
Pre-financing.
pre-financing. It was just club level. Started with Miata, and then did some M3, some 911 Cup car.
Nice.
And I still try to go to the track. In my dreams, I go once a month. In reality, I go once a year. But yeah.
Have you been to the BMW school in Thermal, California?
I've been to Thermal and I drove on the track, not through the BMW,
Performance,
but it is a nice track.
Yeah, and then Porsche has one here by Long Beach, right?
Yeah, that one is more of a training track. It is fun. I've done 3-4 times. It is fun. It's not real racing, or
of course.
It's just a very controlled environment with the instructors.
Still fun.
Still
fun.
Once you get behind a steering wheel or a handlebar, it's always fun.
Yeah. Anything we missed? Anything we want to cover? Website, social media, any big points? Inviting people in, any promos?
Yeah, so we are still a very young company. We are still learning, and we love our subscribers share their experiences with us and give feedback. There's a lot of room for improvement on what we can do, how we can do, and every day we learn. And also, what we are trying to do in LA, there aren't too many examples of it in front of us. So a lot of what we are trying, we are the first one trying, at least in the US. So there's always room for improvement, and we try our best. And we are excited. We are very excited about what is coming. We are excited about the partnerships with anywhere from small merchants to large chains or platforms. And we encourage everyone in the area to stop by and try it. Even if they think it's not the right thing for them, just stop by, have our coffee, and sit on one, and you may be surprised.
Yeah, I think definitely people should come check it out, and I guarantee you people will be surprised. They will be surprised because this is it's very convenient, it's very unique. I haven't seen anything like this in LA, and I think it's very necessary. I think you guys hit a good market, so I congratulate you on that.
Thank you so much.
And hopefully next time I see you, we'll do one of the Ride and Talks that we're launching. So
we'd love it.
Get behind the wheel and
yeah, we would love it anytime.
And do like a walkthrough of what the process is and what people expect at the showrooms and stuff like that. But it seems like it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, next time we should do it in the showroom and go for a ride, as you mentioned. And we really appreciate this. Thank you very much. We love your podcast. Everybody in our team watches, and we are big fans. So thank you for including us. We appreciate it.
Last thing, I'm going to put it on there, but just so we know, what's the website? What's the social media? How do people find you?
So it's all Ride Pico, RIDEPICO, Ride Pico. The website is ridepico.com. On social media, Instagram, Twitter, all of that is with the same Ride Pico.
Ride Pico
is the keyword. Yes.
Perfect. And I'm sorry, I have one more question.
Please.
The name. Where did it come from? Whose idea was it?
Oh gosh,
it's pretty straightforward, but
here's the thing, because I'm originally from Turkey, right? And my first name is Emre, E-M-R-E, and I've been in this country for 30 years, but still everyone says, how do you pronounce it? How do you spell it? How do you say it? We said, okay, we gotta come up with a name that is short, and nobody's gonna say, how do you write that? How do you pronounce it? How do you spell it? So we were looking for something really short and easy to pronounce. And literally, I was with my partner driving on Pico Boulevard.
Yeah.
And we stopped at the traffic light, and we saw on the intersections, they have the street signs. We said, oh, how about Pico? And that's how, yeah, we wanted something short and easy to remember.
So you were driving on Pico, but then you're like, we're talking about scooters, ride up Pico. There it is.
And also, Pico as the word, meaning small, the meaning of the word has that, small in it as a term. So we thought, it matches with the scooters being micro-mobility, small mobility.
And everybody in LA knows Pico.
Everybody knows, yes.
Have you been to Versailles on Pico in La Cienega? It's a Cuban restaurant, right?
Oh,
It's been there forever. It's been there 30, 40 years, but yeah, it's on Pico in La Cienega across the street from the Bank of America.
I know exactly where it is, but I've never been there.
Yeah.
It's good?
It's good. It's good. I used to eat there all the time. I haven't been there in years, but it's one of the original Cuban.
Maybe we take 2 scooters and go get a lunch.
Let's do it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.